Hello, friends. This is Dan Shannon. I'm currently working on a device right here you see right before you. This is my portable Ecto containment unit. Uh, for those that are actually members of my team, this is the design I've been working on as of late. As you can see, I did not use Zach's computer case simply because I haven't had the time to go over there and actively pick it up. But luckily, I did happen to have another computer case on hand, which is this ATX case from my old computer. Um, I had been heavily altering it over the last couple of weeks, and I have been adding all sorts of cosmetics and stuff, as well as actively working on the electronic system, which is, in reality, it's very, very base bones. Uh, this is pretty much the mock-up for it right now. I've gotten the electronics complete. I got the switching system complete. I've got all the lights. I've got a good portion of the details done. Everything from the lights, the door in the front, the cassette cradle that's used to load the trap into the unit. I've got a couple of gauges. I've got a couple of vents. Um, and I also got this one thing on the side here. This is actually something that I managed to pick up at work in the garbage pile. It was malfunctioning at a customer's house, apparently, and they had to replace it. So I figured this thing would look kind of interesting if I just took the guts out of it, put them back on the store shelf, and then just take the thing apart and use it for like something interesting. Of course, this is all going to be painted over. It's going to be painted over with red paint. And as you can see, the back is still relatively open. I've got to figure out what to do with that, if I'm going to do anything with it. I'm actually thinking about just kind of leaving it open so I can stick my hands in there to mess around with some of the electronics if necessary. Um, this portable Ecto containment unit, I'm actually working on getting the lights to work without a power supply actively coming off of AC power. As a matter of fact, there is an internal battery backup unit that's used for computer systems inside of this case. And you would not imagine how much of a pain in the butt that was to get it in there. Of course, the lights do happen to turn on. As a matter of fact, I'm going to demonstrate that now. You've got, of course, the green light. Then you got the red light. And then this is the other thing that I'm actually very, very proud of. This actually has a working alarm system in it, along with a flashing strobe light. For anybody who's actually watching this with a pair of headphones or with their speakers really loud, I will ask you to turn down your volume because this is going to be very loud. Yes, that sound that you are hearing is an active fire klaxon. I actually ended up finding this thing in my grandmother's garage when we were cleaning it out probably about 6 months ago, and I looked at this thing and I'm kind of going, well, I could probably use that for something. I don't know what yet, but it'll come to me. Um, yeah, I mean, it has the actual strobe in it, and it has a really loud siren. I've actually got it on the highest decibel setting I could possibly set it on. And as you notice, I am not anywhere close to it. You did not even see my hands going towards the unit for any reason. And the way this is actually set up, uh, probably about a month or two ago when Walmart was clearing out their Christmas inventory, I managed to find these 3 remote control dongles in a 3-pack for about $10, and they are actively remote controlled. And all 3 of these lights are actually linked into the dongles that are inside the computer case hooked to the backup battery. And right here is the remote. This is actually it right here. I got the first remote setting, channel number 1, on the green light. And let me demonstrate that real quick. course, channel number 2 is the red light, and then the third channel is going to be the alarm. Now, this was the best I can come up with in such a short amount of time. The reason why we were going to try and put in an Ecto containment unit anyway was because my team had been asked to go to a local Chicago Comic Con, which is C2E2, the Chicago Comic and Entertainment Expo. We were going to do a Q&A session for the convention, and we decided to do a little bit of a skit beforehand, probably about 10 minutes long, and we were going to involve this very prop, the portable Ecto containment unit. And we wanted to do something where we actually had an alarm in there, we had a flashing light, we had the whole 9 yards, and, you know, we were just going to start doing like a little demo or something, and then some sort of government official, most likely just because it's Ghostbusters, it's going to be an EPA agent, telling us to shut down the unit because it's considered, you know, hazardous material. We haven't quite worked out the script yet at this juncture, but the basic idea of the entire script was we were going to have to shut this thing down, actively unplug the Ecto containment unit, while stating, yeah, you think we're stupid, we're going to have a loaded containment unit in the middle of public, you've got to be out of your minds, and then we would actually disconnect the power from the unit, and then all of a sudden the alarm clacks, and as well as the strobe light will be going off. Now, I had to really rack my brain for this idea because I really wasn't sure how I was going to get these lights to power without AC power actively going to it. That, and I wasn't exactly sure how I was going to do the switching system anyway because, you know what, I'll admit, I'm pretty good with electronics. I am not anywhere near as good with electronics as most people think I am. This whole thing was actually kind of cobbled together, but at the same time it kind of worked itself out. The entire Ecto containment system lighting package is running solely off of that backup battery and is being turned on with this remote. We figured it would be the easiest way to do it simply because not only will I be able to continuously supply the power to the lights even when the power plug is disconnected from AC power, we can actually switch the lights back and forth at will. Whoever it is that's going to have the remote in their pocket will be able to screw with everybody by making them think that I created this very elaborate switching system that can actually detect when we took the Ecto containment system off of AC power. Well, it was a real pain in the ass to think of this, so needless to say, I'm going to just say, as much as it's cobbled together, I think it's probably one of the most elaborate props I think I've ever really put together. And considering the nature of how I was able to get the electronics in here, it was just a pain in the ass. But I'm very proud of the fact that I was actually able to come up with this thing in less than 2 weeks. From the conception, which was probably back at maybe the 4th of February 2011, which is earlier this month, to when we actually decided we were going to go about trying to build this prop for this particular skit, I would have to say this is actually, well, I'm not going to blow my own horn here, but I'm definitely going to say this is probably one of the most elaborate things I've ever built in such a short amount of time. And, well, I guess it's not bad. I mean, I like to think I'm doing pretty good. Well, I guess I'll show you a couple of other things about it, because I know this is getting a little long. And I've just been walking around in a damn circle in my kitchen, and I'm actually driving myself to dizziness. So I'm going to show you a couple other things that this unit is capable of. It's not overly impressive on this, because I'm still kind of working out the bugs. But right here at the door, I'm going to explain this away instead of having like an actual unlocking latch like it does in the containment unit in the movie. Since this is a portable unit, we have developed new technology to have the unit door self-seal, and then we can just simply deposit the ghost from the cartridge into the unit itself. Now, the majority of the parts that were used on this thing, as you can tell, as well as also, as I said before, a lot of this stuff I just kind of had lying around, or I managed to pick up at work in the garbage pile just because, well, stuff gets broken. What are you going to do? But I did manage to have to go out and buy a few things. Like, for instance, the trap cassette cradle here. I actually used a drawer slide, a ball bearing drawer slide, and I used one of these newspaper caddies for a mailbox that just slides in and out of the computer case right where the add-in equipment, like the CD-ROM drive and stuff, would normally be on the computer case. And then I just close that up. This is one of the other problems I'm kind of having right now. I have to stick my hand in here and move some of the wires and the innards of this thing because the wires for the lights are hanging up the trap cradle. Now I've got the door here. I kind of need to get some work done on this. This is actually kind of atrocious in my opinion, but I also got to put like a wire or something here. I've also got to work on the details on the trap cradle and all this other fun stuff. Got to clean up the trap matrix in here and try to add some ribbon cable and some other cosmetic crap, as well as a little bit of wiring for this little power meter that I have, this little amp meter I got in the front of the door. But yeah, I mean, I still got a couple of things I got left to do on here. It is pretty bland, as you can tell. I really do need to get the primer and the paint going on here, as well as I also got to put on a couple of handles up here, like towards the top, right up here, right towards the back, and then of course with symmetry on the other side to have a couple of handles, because I wanted to make it look like this thing was incredibly heavy, and I wanted to have a couple of handles so everybody can carry it around by two people holding on two handles. It's a little cosmetic thing, I think, and it also would sell exactly how heavy one of these pieces of equipment would probably be if it really existed. You really gotta really fool people into thinking this thing actually exists, and you have to play it really hard. The best way to do it is just by, grabbing whatever you can, grabbing some wire, grabbing all kinds of ridiculous crap, and then you just simply got to use your imagination to figure it out. And even with the short amount of time, I mean, with the electronic system by itself, I'd have to say I'm pretty excited about how these light systems turned out, because then I didn't have to hook up some sort of elaborate lighting system or anything. So, I mean, like I said, I could turn on the green light, I could turn on the red light, or I could turn on the alarm. And it's just absolutely frickin' awesome to me, and I can't stop playing with it. Alright, well, I'm kind of running out of tape here, so I'm just going to close this up by saying this is our portable electrical containment unit as it stands at this moment. I still got to do some paint, I still got to do some cosmetics. Might I add, drilling through a metal computer case. This is not exactly what you call an easy task, but I'm making my way through. Alright guys, well, I'll catch you around, and hopefully, if you do happen to see this, leave some good feedback and maybe a couple of suggestions. Alright, talk to you guys later.